Everything happens for a reason. Have you ever wondered why certain events unfold in your life? Why you meet specific people at precise moments, or why painful experiences seem to arrive just when you least expect them? It's not just coincidence. According to ancient Buddhist philosophy, everything, every encounter, every struggle, every moment of joy happens for a profound reason. The more you observe your life's patterns, the more you'll notice this truth revealing itself. But society has conditioned us to believe we should be able to control our lives and avoid discomfort, making it difficult to accept events that seem illogical or painful. This perspective isn't just incomplete, it's fundamentally flawed. The universe operates by deeper principles that most people are too distracted to perceive. Throughout history, wisdom traditions from Buddha to the Dalai Lama have taught that life's events carry hidden purpose. But what is the root of this resistance to finding purpose? Why, instead, do so many seem to default to explanations based on external blame? The answer lies in how the human mind processes uncertainty and suffering. Think about this. When something painful happens, which is easier, to dismiss it as bad luck, or to search for its deeper purpose? Modern psychology shows that the brain naturally seeks the path of least resistance. Accepting randomness requires nothing from us. Seeking meaning demands introspection, awareness, and growth, things that make us profoundly uncomfortable. This is the great paradox. The meaning behind life's events exists whether we acknowledge it or not, but only those who actively seek this meaning will discover it. The rest remain trapped in an illusion of chaos, never understanding why their suffering persists, or why happiness feels so fleeting. To understand why everything happens for a reason, we must first examine the fundamental principles that govern reality itself. Buddhist philosophy offers us a framework through several interconnected concepts that explain this profound truth. First is the principle of impermanence, anicca. Unlike Western thinking, which seeks permanence and stability, Buddhist philosophy recognizes that everything in existence is in constant flux. Nothing remains the same from one moment to the next. Your body, your thoughts, your emotions, all continuously changing. Even mountains slowly erode, stars eventually burn out. This impermanence isn't a flaw in the universe, it's the essential nature of reality. When we resist this truth, we create our own suffering. When we embrace it, we discover freedom. Consider your own experience. Think about how many times you've desperately tried to hold on to something, a relationship, a job, youth, health, only to feel pain when it inevitably changed. This resistance to impermanence creates intense suffering. But why does the mind resist what's natural? Because the ego, the false self, depends on permanence for its very existence. It needs to believe in stability to maintain its illusion of control. When impermanence reveals itself, the ego feels threatened, triggering fear and denial. Studies in neuroscience confirm this. When faced with change or loss, the brain's amygdala, the region responsible for processing fear, becomes highly active. This triggers a cascade of stress hormones, creating physical and emotional distress. In simple terms, our biological wiring makes us resist the very nature of reality. But those who understand impermanence see change not as an enemy, but as the vehicle for growth. Every ending creates space for new beginnings. Every loss opens pathways to new discoveries. This is why events happen as they do, to facilitate the necessary changes our evolution requires. The second principle is karma, the law of cause and effect. Despite popular misconceptions, karma isn't some cosmic punishment or reward system. It's simply the natural law that every action creates corresponding reactions. Just as a scientist understands that every physical action has an equal and opposite reaction, Buddhist philosophy recognizes that every thought, word, and deed generates energy that eventually returns to its source. What you put into the universe, consciously or unconsciously, eventually comes back to you. This explains why certain patterns repeat in your life. The person who continually experiences betrayal may be unconsciously betraying themselves or others. Those who repeatedly encounter financial struggles might hold limiting beliefs about abundance. Your external reality mirrors your internal state. This isn't mystical thinking, it's psychological reality. Modern cognitive science confirms that our perceptions and beliefs literally shape how we experience the world. We don't see reality as it is. We see it filtered through our past experiences, beliefs, and expectations. Consider confirmation bias, the well-documented tendency to notice information that confirms what we already believe while filtering out contradictory evidence. Someone who believes people can't be trusted will unconsciously look for signs of untrustworthiness in others, eventually proving their belief correct. This creates a self-fulfilling prophecy, reinforcing the original belief and strengthening the karmic cycle. This explains why certain people seem stuck in patterns of suffering. They're caught in karmic loops they don't recognize. The third principle explains why suffering persists: attachment. Buddha identified attachment as the root cause of human suffering. When we cling to specific outcomes, people, possessions, or beliefs, we create the conditions for disappointment and pain. Think about your greatest suffering. Isn't it always connected to wanting something to be different than it is? Wanting someone to love you who doesn't? Wanting to avoid pain that's already present? Wanting to control what's inherently uncontrollable? Modern psychology calls this cognitive dissonance, the mental tension that occurs when reality doesn't match our expectations. This dissonance creates profound discomfort, leading to denial, anger, or depression. Studies show that the brain experiences physical pain when facing cognitive dissonance. This is why letting go of attachments isn't just philosophically sound, it's neurologically beneficial. When we release our grip on how things should be, the brain's stress response diminishes, allowing natural well-being to emerge. This brings us to the fourth principle: acceptance. Contrary to popular belief, acceptance isn't passive resignation. It's the active recognition of reality as it is, without resistance or denial. It's seeing the truth without the distorting lens of what we wish were true. When we accept life's events, even painful ones, we cease creating additional suffering through resistance. This doesn't mean we approve of injustice or stop working for positive change. It means we stop fighting reality itself, conserving energy for effective action. Research in trauma recovery shows that acceptance is crucial for healing. Those who fight against their traumatic experiences, denying, suppressing, or constantly battling memories, often remain trapped in suffering. Those who accept what happened, while not excusing it, create space for healing to begin. This is why everything happens for a reason. Each experience, especially difficult ones, offers an opportunity to practice acceptance, which is essential for spiritual growth. The fifth principle reveals why painful experiences are often our greatest teachers: the hidden lessons in adversity. Every challenge contains within it a lesson our soul needs to learn. These lessons aren't random. They're precisely calibrated to our current level of development. Notice how different people face different challenges. This isn't cosmic unfairness, it's cosmic precision. Each person receives exactly the experiences they need for their unique evolution. Consider the stories of those who've overcome tremendous hardship, childhood abuse, serious illness, devastating loss, who later say, "I wouldn't change it. It made me who I am." This isn't Stockholm Syndrome with the universe. It's recognition that suffering transformed them in ways nothing else could have. Studies in post-traumatic growth show that adversity often leads to increased compassion, greater appreciation for life, stronger personal relationships, and deeper spiritual connection. These benefits don't justify suffering, but they explain its purpose. The sixth principle is mindfulness, the practice of present moment awareness without judgment. Most people spend their lives lost in thought, barely noticing what's actually happening. They're replaying the past, worrying about the future, or mentally arguing with reality. This constant mental activity creates a veil between themselves and life's deeper meaning. Mindfulness parts this veil, allowing us to see events as they truly are, not as our conditioned mind interprets them. Neuroscience confirms that mindfulness physically restructures the brain. Regular practice increases gray matter in regions associated with learning, memory, emotional regulation, and perspective taking. It decreases activity in the default mode network, the brain system responsible for rumination and self-referential thinking. This neurological shift allows practitioners to perceive reality more clearly, unclouded by ego-centered narratives. This clarity reveals the interconnectedness of all events, making their purpose increasingly apparent. The final principle explains how we can work with life's events rather than against them: mental transformation. Buddhist philosophy teaches that the mind is malleable, capable of profound change through intentional practice. Just as a blacksmith transforms raw metal into something useful through heat and pressure, we can transform our consciousness through the intensity of life's challenges. This transformation doesn't happen automatically. It requires our participation. We must choose to learn from experience rather than merely endure it. This explains why two people can face identical circumstances, yet have completely different outcomes. One person loses their job and spirals into depression. Another uses the opportunity to discover their true calling. One person faces illness and becomes bitter. Another finds profound gratitude for each day. The difference isn't in the events themselves, but in how the mind processes them. Those who understand that everything happens for a reason approach life's challenges with curiosity rather than resistance. They ask, "What can I learn from this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" But why does society resist this understanding? Why do most people cling to the belief that life is unfair? The answer lies in responsibility. Recognizing that everything happens for a reason places responsibility squarely on our shoulders. It means we can no longer blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck for our suffering. It means our happiness depends not on external conditions, but on our internal response to those conditions. This level of responsibility feels threatening to the ego, which prefers the role of victim to the role of creator. Modern culture reinforces this victimhood. We're led to believe we are at the mercy of external forces, other people's opinions, societal pressures, unavoidable circumstances. This perspective sells a sense of insecurity, promotes conformity, and keeps people reliant on external validation. It's easier to offer external solutions than to empower people to find inner strength and resilience. This is why those who understand life's deeper meaning often find themselves at odds with mainstream thinking. Their self-reliance challenges norms built on external dependence. Consider how society treats those who claim responsibility for their experience. They're often labeled naive, privileged, or delusional. How can you say everything happens for a reason? People ask, pointing to tragedy and injustice. This reaction comes from misunderstanding. Saying everything happens for a reason doesn't mean everything happens for a pleasant reason. It doesn't justify suffering or excuse those who cause harm. It simply recognizes that within even the most painful circumstances lies potential for growth that couldn't have come any other way. This is evident in countless personal stories. The entrepreneur whose business failure led to discovering their true purpose. The person whose illness prompted them to prioritize what truly matters. The relationship breakdown that forced someone to develop self-love. These aren't coincidences. They're examples of the universe providing exactly the experiences needed for growth. As the Zen proverb states, "The obstacle is the path." What appears to block our way often is the way, the precise experience needed for our evolution. But does this mean we should passively accept whatever happens, never taking action to improve our circumstances? Absolutely not. Understanding that everything happens for a reason doesn't lead to inaction. It leads to wiser action. Instead of fighting against reality, we work with it. Instead of reacting from fear or anger, we respond from wisdom and compassion. Instead of asking, "How can I escape this situation?" we ask, "How can I use this situation for the highest good?" This shift in perspective transforms our relationship with life itself. We no longer see the universe as an opponent to overcome, but as a teacher guiding our development. We recognize that comfort doesn't lead to growth, challenge does. Just as muscles develop through resistance, consciousness evolves through overcoming obstacles. This explains why the most evolved souls often face the greatest challenges. They're not being punished, they're being prepared for expanded awareness. Scientific research supports this perspective. Studies in neuroplasticity show that the brain develops new neural pathways when faced with novel challenges. Comfort and routine keep the brain, and consciousness, stagnant. Difficulty forces adaptation and growth. From a biological perspective, growth requires stress. Plants need wind to develop strong stems. Children need challenges to develop capability. Consciousness needs obstacles to expand beyond its current limitations. This isn't cosmic cruelty, it's cosmic intelligence. Throughout history, those who understood that everything happens for a reason exhibited remarkable resilience in the face of adversity. Consider Viktor Frankl, who survived Nazi concentration camps and developed logotherapy, a therapeutic approach based on finding meaning in all experiences, even suffering. Or Nelson Mandela, who transformed 27 years of imprisonment into profound wisdom that healed a nation. These individuals didn't deny their suffering. They transformed it by recognizing its purpose in their development. This perspective isn't just spiritually profound, it's psychologically beneficial. Research shows that people who find meaning in difficult experiences recover more quickly from trauma, show greater resilience against depression, and report higher levels of life satisfaction. Finding purpose in pain doesn't just comfort us philosophically, it actually changes our neurochemistry, reducing stress hormones and increasing endorphins and other natural mood enhancers. But make no mistake, this understanding doesn't come easily. It requires swimming against the current of conventional thinking. Society profits from convincing you that happiness depends on external circumstances. Buy this, achieve that, look this way, and that suffering is bad luck to be avoided at all costs. Embracing the truth that everything happens for a reason means rejecting these cultural narratives. It means taking responsibility for your experience in a world that encourages blame and victimhood. This path isn't for everyone. Many prefer the comfort of conventional thinking, even if it limits their growth. They'd rather believe they're victims of circumstance than creators of their experience. They'd rather blame others for their pain than extract wisdom from it. This isn't judgment, it's simply recognition that different souls are at different stages of development. Not everyone is ready to see life's deeper patterns or assume responsibility for their experience. The Buddha taught that suffering stems from ignorance, not intellectual ignorance, but ignorance of our true nature and life's deeper principles. When we understand that everything happens for a reason, this ignorance begins to dissolve. We stop fighting against life and start flowing with it. We recognize that even our darkest moments contain seeds of transformation that couldn't have been planted any other way. This doesn't make pain disappear, but it gives it purpose. It doesn't eliminate challenges, but it reveals their role in our evolution. So the next time you face difficulty, whether minor frustration or major life crisis, remember this. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. It contains precisely the lesson your soul needs for its next stage of growth. Your task isn't to avoid this lesson, but to extract its wisdom. As you develop this perspective, you'll notice something remarkable. Life doesn't become easier, but you become stronger. Challenges don't disappear, but your capacity to transform them into opportunities expands. This is the true meaning of spiritual growth, not freedom from life's storms, but the ability to dance in the rain. If this video resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you experienced events that later revealed their purpose? How has finding meaning in difficulty transformed your life? Subscribe to Moon Mind Temple for more insights into life's deeper truths. Remember, understanding that everything happens for a reason isn't just philosophical comfort. It's practical wisdom that transforms how you experience every moment of your existence.